with dream sequences. He said bad dream sequences. So it's not you can't use dream sequences. Just make sure they're good.
A lot of bad dream sequences in books, and I want to save you from doing something like that in your own book.
What is with this quality?
We're going to cover 5 common mistakes that writers make when writing a dream sequence, and then we're going to go over 9 great ways to use dreams in your
we're going
books.
to do a negative and a positive.
Examples like Donna Tartt's The Secret History and even The Big Lebowski. So to begin with the 5 ways you shouldn't use dreams in your fiction, let's look at 1, the fake out. Usually this happens at the beginning of the story, and there's this super dramatic scene.
You know what's my worst? Did you notice, Sharp? Did you notice? We are now on Rumble and X. Would you do something wrong?
Okay.
The same thing happened to Zoinko. Like, it was like he got blacklisted from the TTS. I don't know, man.
Hitok is gay.
Oh, so much so. Check it out. Dun, 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 dun. What? Only 320%? Fair enough. I hated Man of Steel and Batman vs. Superman more than I like the Schneider Cut, though. It has become a good Christian man.
Can't even get his camera right.
It will
Fuck
not
freeze
curse.
frames.
Ah!
I am nearly done. Oh, there it goes. That's the face only a mother can love.
True, Sharp. True, that never gets old. I'm trying to make new faces, okay, guys? Trying to make new faces. I'm like, every time my mouth is open, I'm like, that's got to be the meme, because you gotta Photoshop a dick in my mouth. That's the meme. Dick in my mouth. I'm sure it's not hard to find a picture of me with a dick in my mouth, though. You know, it's just the way it is. You just gotta accept it. The fake out.
And then all of a sudden, the character wakes up. Wah, wah. Don't you feel tricked in that moment? Like, I just feel like, oh, come on. You were lying to me. Even worse is when the dream sequence is at the end of the story and the character wakes up and surprise, it was all a dream. This is always a bad idea because it means nothing has actually happened in your story. It's all been imagined in this character's brain, and so there's nothing actually at stake.
Lil
The
bro
second way
ain't
you shouldn't write
nobody out of all the
dreams is
jobless worlds have the time to edit your photo and put a dick in your mouth.
Sharp. Why do you have to be so mean to me? There's gotta be one person out there that cares enough about me to Photoshop a dick in my mouth.
I feel so Sigma.
True.
the forever dream.
The forever dream. I don't know. Okay, interesting. Forever dream. The character that's just
Sigma
like
balls.
sleeping. Sigma balls? You mean Ligma balls? No, guys, you know what's the best joke ever?
Made a grown man cry. So instead of e-girls, we should call them I-ladies. Grown man begging for dicks. I laid these nuts on your face.
It's fine to have a small dream, right? But if you have a really long dream sequence, I'm talking about chapter, 2 chapters, the reader's gonna lose interest because there's nothing actually at stake in your book.
Give him yours,
You
Sharp.
gotta laugh at your own jokes.
Downfall is so great, you gotta laugh at your own jokes. True, Sharp. Hey, if you don't... Well, I've never found that thing, oh, you laugh at your own jokes. Well, it's like, if you didn't laugh at your own jokes, don't you think maybe those jokes aren't funny? And if you're not laughing at your own jokes, why the fuck would anyone else laugh at your own jokes? So I actually think the best jokes are the jokes you laugh at yourself because you think they're funny. It's called comic timing. That I have none of. You first crack the joke. Oh, crack your joke! Wait for the audience to react. And then you react. You know what my favorite joke of all time is, guys? Because no one ever gets it.
Three guys walk into a bar. You think one of them would have noticed.
Nothing can happen inside the dream because it's only a dream. The character is going to wake up and nothing's actually going to be changed. Ideally, dreams in your fiction should be short and impactful. Now, I do love
It's
this
not
book,
late
The
to
Master and
commute
the Margarita,
suicide.
but in
It's not late. Your Twitch payouts? Yeah, definitely Sinister. Setting the bar. The bar is totes a penis. Oh my god.
inside it, there is a dream that lasts for
You
like
wanna hear a
2
joke?
chapters about punching.
I know a joke. Intoxication 5077.
Sure, let's hear your joke, Sharp.
What's the difference between an orphan and you?
Oh shit. Oh shit. I don't know, but I know it's gonna be bad.
An orphan knows he doesn't have a family.
I knew it was gonna be dark. Sharp going in today. His phone ring. Yeah, sorry, sir. Your entire family has been found dead. Heart attacks. Yep. 4 bullets to the back of the head. Definitely a heart attack. No, nothing was stolen because nothing was there to begin with. You don't get it, Callie? Because he's saying basically the idea of my family is dead and I don't know it. So I'm like about to find out that I don't have any family anymore. At least that's the angle I went with it. It's like the orphan knows that he don't have a family, and I'm like, wait, what? What? No, Mom, Dad, no. He understood it so well. There are jokes I get because they're dark and fucked up, and I love it. And I knew it had something to do with that. I was thinking maybe something like, the orphan didn't kill their parents, or something like that. But I figured it had to involve dead parents. I gotta take a toke, that's too good. You also have to know your audience, right? And you have to know me. I love dark, fucked up humor. The more fucked up it is, the funnier it is, because you know it's not real. That's the true thing that makes it funny, is the fact that you know it's not real, it doesn't harm anyone, and it's just an idea. And ideas are harmless unless put into effect. And I think that's where, like, we need to go back to the old days of fucking Tropic Thunder and the idea of true comedy. and the irony, like parody movies and stuff. I never thought I would say this, but we need to go back to fucking parody movies, guys. Where's Scary Movie 27? Yes, just tomorrow I just wake up to Twitch banning my account. I used just 2 times in a row. Man, if I got banned, I would be surprised simply because I'd be like, well, who the fuck reported me? Because no one watches me. Second of all, how the fuck would they have even got the ban report? Because I'm so small that it could have only been like 3 or 4 reports. You know? And you know what? I am breaking the chat, Twitch TOS. You guys know how? I'm not allowed to show Twitch chat. That's like back during COVID when that gang member in Florida got shot 9 times and died, and the authorities held a press conference and said he died of COVID. Yeah, Sinister, that's fucked up shit. But it's like, I can get banned because, especially now that I'm on multiple platforms, but I can't show Kick chat on my stream, and I can't show my Twitch chat on the Kick stream. So technically, I am continuously at all points in time, as long as I have people chatting in chat, I am breaking the Twitch TOS. But if I get banned for that, I don't give a fuck. That's fucking retarded. They also now made it that you can't link to Kick. Which I do, which is, again, fucking retarded, but I mean... Twitch is either going to fall apart or it's going to stop all of this shit. Because eventually people are just gonna go to Kick. Because right now the consensus in most people is Kick is bad because of gambling, but they don't realize that Twitch is bad because of gambling. What? And as soon as they realize that, they're going to be like, well, I'm just going to go to Kick because everyone multi-streams on Kick anyways and there's no ads on Kick. Fuck it. And they're just going to move over to Kick. And Twitch is going to die. If this continues, I blame Jeff Bezos. But Jeff Bezos isn't even, like, he's, like, basically retired. And what's really funny about this is the fact that the whole meme of Dan Clancy going around shamelessly promoting his Twitch channel in other people's channels, which I think is funny because he says he's shamelessly doing it. It's not that people say that he's shamelessly doing it. In the messages, he literally says, I am shamelessly going through the streamers that I know and asking them to support my charity stream. And I'm like, yeah, fair enough. If you're straight up...
We have recorded your complaint. Your complaint will be reviewed by a moderator within 3 business days. If the problem persists, please feel free to contact our toll-free number. Do not make multiple complaints over the same query. It will lead to a suspension of the complaint.
Bacinus! I love that! It's like a new word for penis. Bacinus! His bacinus. I don't know why that's so fucking funny to me. Probably because it's also close to Beezus. Beezus' penis. The beast. Give him the business. It's legit how Twitch takes complaints. Oh, I believe it. I believe it. Oh, that's how Amazon takes complaints too, I'm sure. I'm gonna turn my brain off. Yeah, we should get back to the video, shouldn't we?
Pilot. And it goes a little bit long. By the way, if you're
lunch.
Russian and
All
you
right,
read this book and you get all
Shark.
the inside jokes, then the dream sequence probably makes a lot more sense. But for non-Russians reading...
Yeah, I know, Sinister. That was the joke. It's exactly like Amazon, because it is Amazon.
In the book, we're like, why is this so long? Third mistake, the normalizing trap. Listen, dreams are weird, right? They operate on this completely other different logic where things don't make sense and things aren't normal. So don't normalize them. Don't make them logical and coherent and progress along a certain storyline. Make them wacky and wild and crazy. You really want your dreams to be as otherworldly and as strange as possible. And a good example of this sort of capturing of dreamlike state is Waking Life by Linklater. The fourth mistake some writers make is the symbol game. So we all know that dream we've read in a book where it's a very strict allegory. Every single thing in the dream corresponds to one thing in reality. When they're running out of time, they dream of broken clocks. The person afraid of commitment dreams about gigantic wedding rings rolling away. It's just a little too on the nose. I want you to think for a moment, think about your own dreams and think about how often they are just unsettling and uninterpretable. You want to capture at least a little bit of that in your dreams and not make them a very strict allegory. And the fifth and final mistake before we get to the good ways you can use dreams is the sloppy substitute. Sometimes as an editor, I read dreams in people's fiction and I think, why wasn't this done for real in the book? Like, this is a great scene. There's tons of drama. There's tons of tension. Why not just make it for real so the reader can invest in it and not fake them out with like, oh, like, here's the thing you really want to happen, but it's just a dream. If you can make a dream real, please, please, make it real. Okay, so those are all the bad ways to use dreams. Now we're going to look at 9 fantastic ways you can use dreams in your novels, stuff that will just blow the reader out of the water and make them so glad that they're reading your book. The first great way to use dreams is dreams as foreshadowing.
Dreams as foreshadowing. So we could say we are using dreams in a way, because what happens in chapter 3 is that Husai goes to the roots of the tree, which are connected to Gaia's shell, so she has somewhat influence. Plus being human and having the higher brain capacity to have Gaia's influence not destroy his consciousness, he can go into this meditative state that's basically like a dream state. And because he's close with Gaia, because he's human, you know, like all of these things adding up to the point where he can put himself in a state where he can commune with what he thinks are his ancestors. And technically it is, but it's actually Gaia using the consciousness of his... And this is where we introduce the idea of, like, consciousnesses surviving after death. And that will be a huge thing played into the end of the series, right? So the series starts off with this and ends with it. There's a lot of that mirroring going on in the story, where a lot of the beginning of the events are mirrored events that happen at the end of the last book, essentially. Like the first quarter of the first book and the last quarter of the last book are like a mirror of each other. And like each quarter is kind of like that throughout the middle of it. And the further separated they are, the closer together they resemble the mirror, essentially. So the ones that are like super close, like the ending of book 2 and the beginning of book 1, for instance, is mirrored by like the dream sequence kind of idea. Again, with Husai in the soulscape with Gaia, basically in like an auditorium, watching a play. And we're going to have ads in a second here again. What the fuck is this? Man, is time going so fast? I swear, we've been in like 4 ad breaks already. Like, what the fuck is this? Get out of here, ads. No one likes ads. Ads are fucking garbage. But we are technically using this as not... It's not even really, I guess, technically foreshadowing. It's just straight up prophecy and telling you, oh, you need to find these. So I guess it is kind of a foreshadowing, but it's like, yeah, you need to find the tablet. He's like, what the fuck is a tablet with the Warriors of Light? And when he finds the Warriors of Light, he still doesn't know about the tablet, because the whole idea is that the tablet is the Kipu, which is strings, braided strings. And they don't know that that's exactly what it is, but it's because of the way that language is structured through communication and interpretation of consciousness that tablet just meant something that you write on. That's just the word they knew it for. So That's where language and misunderstanding and stuff like that comes in as well.
In Annie Proulx's book, The Shipping News, the daughter has a dream that the house has fallen.
Fucking ads. Oh, ads. What are we ever gonna do with these ads, boys? We're gonna get rid of them somehow. Somehow we'll get rid of them. You know how we get rid of them, guys? You just stop watching. Just everyone stop watching, and eventually I won't be an affiliate anymore, and we won't have to worry about ads. It'll be magnificent. I love that Substack has audio posts plus text. I can add parts of my story and read them myself. Yeah. I'm just neglecting to do that with all my posts, because I could with Cryogen, because I have the parts, but I was just so lazy with it. I was like, fuck it. If people request it, maybe I will. I mean, I did with the first one. The first one has the intro for Cryogen, like the trailer for it. Okay, we are back.
Into the ocean. And on the very next page, the very next day, the house, which is on a cliff overlooking the ocean, actually does fall into the ocean. So if you have something happen in a dream that happens later on in the novel, it's not actually functioning like a dream. It's functioning more like fortune telling or a portent. That's a better way to use the dream, because the dream is actually doing something for the plot. A second great way that you can use dreams in your fiction is dreams as
didn't
epiphanies.
get ads.
So
True, Callie, because you're one of the big boys, the better guys.
there are tons of examples of dreams in the television series The Sopranos.
What was this one? Oh, dreams as epiphanies.
You can use dreams in your fiction is dreams as epiphanies. So there are tons of examples of dreams in the television series The Sopranos. And there's one episode called The Test Dream, in which he has a dream that's like 20 minutes long. But this dream really helps him in real life, because it is through this dream that he comes to admit to himself that there's a snitch on his team. Before he had suspected Jimmy, and then there was this dirty cop that...
Dreams are as foreshadowing. So using something in the dream to foreshadow events that will happen either through prophecy or something like that. Maybe things that are close to it, you know? Like the character's worries being manifest into a dream, and then that outcome actually happening in reality. And it doesn't even have to be far-fetched, you know? It could be something like you fuck up a report at work, and it's like your 5th report this week from fucking up, and you've only worked there 3 weeks, and you have a dream about getting fired, and then the next day you get fired. It's like, yeah, buddy, you can't fuck up like that. So, like, I think that's, like, a really good way of doing that. Because, like, you would expect the character to have a dream like that, because the character knows and understands and is fearful of that outcome that is extremely highly likely. And then it happens.
Told him it was a guy on his team called Pussy. So this dream sequence helps him to realize the identity of the snitch, and also helps him to accept the identity, because the snitch is a longtime friend. Once again, this dream works because it is helping the plot of the real story. You're gonna love point number 3, because it's a lot of fun. These are dreams as comedy routines. In The Big Lebowski, Lebowski is drugged by Jackie Treehorn, and he goes on a crazy dream journey. We start with some suggestive placement of bowling balls and pins, and then some humorous underskirts followed by hilarious faces. And then we get to a musical number with awesome dance moves. And then we have some wacky stuff too, like Saddam Hussein giving him bowling shoes. So there's not really a purpose to this dream in terms of the plot, other than just being really funny. And guess what? That's a great reason for a dream.
That's like the play. It's supposed to be a extended version of like this ridiculousness. So it's like it's giving you exposition and telling you the story of what's happening, of like the entire backstory of like Anima and Gaia, celestial beings and everything like that, the dragon's creation, the old world, the octopi, the monarch, and everything, all in this like rushed, really shittily constructed costumes, like high school quality play that Gaia, Husai, and one of Gaia's guardians are all like basically laughing at, eating popcorn and chilling while like having conversations with each other. And that's kind of a way to mirror also the beginning of the book where Husai is watching the video of the 100-year quest. And it's like, in the first one you start off really like happy-go-lucky and you wind up thinking you're getting blackmailed and getting fucked over. And then in the play, it's like the end of the last book is like, oh my god, we're getting fucked over. And then this play is like, we're having a good time, nobody cares about anything, fuck it, here, just listen to this great old story, it doesn't really matter. And it's just supposed to be an alleviating moment to be like, okay, we're going to take a deep breath, we're going to figure shit out, and then we're going to get up off the ground, and we're going to carry on with the quest.
A fourth way to use a dream in your book is a dream as supernatural communication. So,
yeah, see, that's definitely what we're doing. Dream as supernatural communication. We definitely do this.
if you're writing sci-fi, you could have aliens communicating through dreams. If you are writing horror, you could have monsters haunting through dreams. And for an example on this one, we're gonna go all the way back to the Bible, where God frequently communicates through dreams. So in the book of Genesis, you see Jacob, right? And he's sleeping in a field, he's using a rock for a pillow, poor guy. And he has this dream where he sees this stairway ascending up to heaven and angels descending and ascending upon it. And in this dream, God makes a promise that his descendants are going to be as numerous as the dust on the ground. Once again, this works because something is actually happening in this dream, right? God is communicating to him and making him a promise. A fifth and very important way to use dreams in your fiction is dreams as alternative existence. Now, I will say that doing dreams in this way is going to affect the entirety of your book, right? Because a significant portion of your book will happen in the dream world and a significant portion will happen in the non-dream world. But your goal when doing this is to make what happens in the dream world be just as significant and important as what happens in the real world. For a book on this, look at Hard-Boiled Wonderland and the End of the World by Haruki Murakami. The town at the end of the world is kind of this dreamscape existence.
It's kind of a little bit different, but think of like Expedition 33, right? It's not a dream, but it's the same kind of concept. You're inside of a painting. You're not real. It might as well be a video game about being inside of a video game. Right? So, there are different ways to go about the dream sequence without using dreams, but having that same alternate reality where there's the real world, then there's the Painters Guild and the Writers Guild, and then there's inside of the paintings. And I hope for DLC we'll go to the writers. That would be fucking amazing.
And then the Hard-Boiled Wonderland is the real world. And the whole book alternates between these two worlds. H.P. Lovecraft also has a book that falls into this category. It's called The Dream Quest of the Unknown Kadath. And half of the book is about voyaging into this dream world. And if you want an example...
Great movies for that are like Mirror Mask and Coraline. Inception's pretty good, too.
It's a little bit more popular. Think of the movie Inception, where half of the story actually takes place in this dream world existence, but yet the things that happen in that dream world, like, say, dying, actually affect you in the real world. A sixth great way to use dreams in your fiction is dreams as symbols. Now, I know I listed symbols as something not to do in those first five. I'm just checking whether you're paying attention. But really, there are worse ways to do symbols, and there are better ways to do symbols. So in Dostoevsky's Crime and Punishment, we have a very significant dream by Raskolnikov, the main character. In real life, he is thinking about killing an old lady. But does he dream about that? No. He dreams about beating an old horse to death. And when he wakes up, he knows that the dream wasn't really about killing a horse, right? He is dreaming in symbols about killing this old lady. But this dream is doing really important work in the novel. It's allowing him the sort of space to try to process and wrestle with the fact that he does feel apprehensive about committing this murder. And it's also a good idea to have him dreaming about a man beating a horse to death rather than him dreaming directly about killing the old woman, because it's not so on the nose, right? It really captures the way that dreams actually work. A seventh great way to use dreams in your fiction is dreams as desires. There are more dreams in Roberto Bolaño's 2666 than probably almost any other book that I've read. In fact, the sheer number of dreams in this book actually convinced me, oh, maybe dreams do have an important role to play in fiction, because I'd read so many bad dreams in fiction before, I was kind of prejudiced against them. I was sick of reading about dreams. So here we have a character who's been chasing this elusive character for her entire life, a character called Archimboldi. And to heighten her desire and passion for actually finding where this character is, Bolaño just has her dream about finally seeing him. She falls asleep with the TV on and she dreams about him. And the dream is weird because he's sitting on this volcanic slab, he's holding an axe, and he's looking at her sadly. So once again, it's following this sort of dream logic of it's weird and there's no clear reason for why he's holding an axe or why he's dressed in rags, but we do get a sense that this exposes what she really wants more than anything else in the world, to find this character. So if you want to demonstrate how much your character wants something in your story, just have them dream of what they want. The eighth technique that you can use when incorporating dreams inside your story is dreams as the impossible. Say there's something in your story that your character wants above all else, but for some reason they can't have it. You know, this is a plotting problem, right? You're like, I know I can't give the character what they want, but I know I'm going to disappoint my readers if I don't give them that. The solution is the dream. The dream allows you to make that emotional delivery to the reader without making the story seem cheesy or ruining the plot. So in Donna Tartt's The Secret History, and watch out because I'm going to give away some spoilers here. So in this book, a certain very important character dies, and yet it is necessary, emotionally speaking, for the protagonist to talk to them. Now, one technique you could use is to use a flashback to make that happen, right? But Donna Tartt goes in a different direction and she uses a dream. She dreams about meeting up with her friend who has been killed. And she can still see in this dream the powder burn where he shot himself. But I love how this dream ends. She says like, oh, I heard you were dead. And he said, no, I'm just having a little bit of trouble with my passport. I love that kind of dream logic, where in a dream you wouldn't think that someone's dead. Oh, they're just having trouble with their passport moving between the worlds of death and life. But what this dream actually does is it offers the reader a kind of closure about these characters' relationship. And that's a great use of a dream. And the very last step you should absolutely use is dreams as fears. One of the most common dreams in real life is a fear dream. You dream about what you're scared of. And so it really makes sense that in fiction there should be fear dreams as well. So in Han King's The Vegetarian, and by the way, congrats to her for recently winning the Nobel Prize for Literature. I'm very happy for her, and I really loved this book too, so congrats. In this dream, a vegetarian woman has this fear dream about being trapped in a room filled with all of these hanging slabs of meat. She tries to push past the meat, but there's no end to the meat and there's no exit she can find. And she feels this gross sensation of like blood everywhere, like the blood of animals all over her. So yeah, for a vegetarian, that's a horrific nightmare. Actually, for a non-vegetarian, that's still pretty gross. But it is this dream which causes her to become a vegetarian. She'd been thinking about it before, but after this dream, she's like, I am definitely a vegetarian now. The lesson that we learned from this is you can use dreams as a catalyst to make your character do something or change in some way in your story. When characters make a sharp right turn, you always want trigger events in your story that explain why they made that sharp turn. And the trigger event in this story is this dream. My only caution as I end this video is, I know I got you super pumped up about dreams, but don't use dreams too often. They really should be an infrequent thing in your storyline, but use them judiciously and they will pay huge dividends in your story.